Okay, there we go. I kind of look a little bit like Dwight Schrute with this hairstyle right now, but I'm waiting for my bangs to grow out. And anybody that has ever had bangs in their life knows how much of a pain that is. So please excuse the Dwight Schrute assistant to the assistant manager hairstyle that I'm sporting right now. I hope that doesn't detract from your relaxation. But hello, I hope that you are doing well, and I wanted to introduce my co-host for the evening. If you can see them already, maybe guess by their tail who it is. If not, then I will show you. This is my giant Mew plushie, and since I am always anxious, I thought that it would be a good idea just to calm my nerves with one of my friends. And Mew is a very close friend of mine. I love the color pink. I used to hate it. I used to absolutely abhor it, actually, when I was a kid, when I was in like elementary school. In middle school, I thought that pink was just too happy of a color. I was going through it, and I wasn't a very optimistic kid, but I have since learned otherwise. Life is very rewarding and very mysterious, and Mew is very cute, and Mew just so happens to be pink in their non-shiny form. So, and one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Esper, has a pink shiny form. So I've learned to love the color pink. You live and you learn, and truly, and that is the lesson for today. Furthermore, the actual content and objective is the right word for this video is to share my new flashcards with you, and they have to do with music, so they are musically oriented flashcards. It's a complete color-coded flashcards for all beginning music students. Includes all the notes, symbols, and terms needed for the first 2 years. Not one, but yes, two years of study on any musical instrument. Deck includes 89 cards, color-coded by category and numbered on the back. Oh. Maybe I ought to get into like stretching before I sit down and film videos. Okay. And then on the back it shows you how the complete set of 89 music flashcards are numbered and colored. And this little sleeve is detachable. So I will show you what the back looks like. It says that the canary colors, clefs, notes on the staff, the white is tempo marks, dynamic signs, green is music symbols, blue is melodic and harmonic intervals and key signatures. And pink is note values, rest values, and time signatures. So, a little background on me and my experience in music. I used to play piano when I was a kid. We had a straight back piano in my old farmhouse where I grew up that I would play on, and I took lessons for a long time until I was given the ultimatum to either study music or get into sports, and it was really a decision between pleasing one parent over the other. And I, at the time, wanted to make my father proud. So instead of pursuing music, I went into basketball and promptly forgot most of my musical teachings, unfortunately. And then I was absolutely terrible at basketball. So it was a lose-lose, unfortunately. But luckily, I don't think anyone is ever too advanced in age to learn or relearn something of their desire. So I have since taken a college course offered by my local community college in beginning piano, and that was a year ago. So ever since then, I have just sort of been dabbling here and there on my keyboard in the back. You can see my little electric keyboard. I've just sort of been hanging out, having fun, not really studying seriously, but more so just playing for my own enjoyment. I thought it would be fun to just go through these flashcards. I think these are only like $10 at my local family-owned music shop. I thought it would be fun to just kind of go through them. Today's video, I'm just going to go through a few of them, trace them, explain them, and hopefully get some good sounds from them. So on the top, very top of this deck of flashcards, we have, if you recognize this, the treble clef sign, also known as the G clef. You can see here it's like a beautiful swirl. I remember when I was a kid and I would have like the repertoire and the music theory, like little notebooks that my teachers would give me to fill out and fill in with pencil. But I would do hundreds of these little symbols every day. Just because I thought that it was a nice, like, soothing and pleasing motion to do with my hand. So this is the treble clef sign. We also need to speak of its counterpart, the bass clef, also known as the F clef. So, as far as I remember, the bass clef sign sits below the treble clef sign on the grand staff. For our first, it's a little tricky, especially if you're very new to music. This is actually a single eighth note. Show you the back of the card there. And when you put two eighth notes together, you get two eighth notes. And it'll tell you the count on the back as well. 1 and, or 2, 2, 2 eighths. This one should be a little bit easier for new students to identify. This is the quarter note. It's a single count. One, just one quarter note. Here we have the half note. It looks exactly like a quarter note, just hollowed out, so it's not filled in. It's the half note. It doesn't have just one count, it has two. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. I remember when I was a student, I would have a really difficult time with rhythm, and I very heavily relied on a metronome to keep and set the pace for me. So if you're struggling with pacing and rhythm, I would highly recommend turning on the metronome function that is in mechanical or electric keyboards. Is that the correct term? Or investing in an actual physical metronome if you have the fortune of having a grand piano or a straight back upright piano. I've forgotten a lot of the terminology associated with the instrument itself, so forgive me. Okay, moving on, we have the rest. distinctly recall not ever being able to draw this symbol correctly. Because to me at the time it just looked like a lot of squiggles. Or like a very strange, disjointed snake. I had to switch positions a little bit because my legs were falling asleep, so I apologize for the continuity error, but this is the quarter rest. Rest for the value of a quarter note. So the same amount of time that you would take for a quarter note, you would take for this quarter rest. So this is the half rest. It looks like a little hat. Like a little top hat. For this one, you rest for the value of a half note. So if we recall, how many counts a half note requires? Let me grab the card here. So this is our half note. And if we remember, it has not one, but two counts. So for half rest, you would rest for 2 counts. And we also have a whole rest here as well. The best way that I was taught to differentiate between the two is the orientation of the hat. If it's upside down and looks like a hole in the ground, that is the whole rest. So you would rest for 4 counts. Or any whole measure. Moving on to the white cards, which indicate tempo marks and dynamic signs. The first card here that we have is Adagio. Which means slowly. Slowly, very slowly. Not very slowly, but just slowly. This first one is the sharp sign. And on the back of the card here it says, the sharp sign before a note means play the next key to the right, whether black or white. Play the next key to the right, whether black or white. And conversely, we have the flat sign. And the flat sign before a note means play the next key to the left, left, whether black or white. And there's the back of this card in case you were curious. So I never got far enough in my tutelage to study or understand or even be introduced to key signatures or intervals, really. So this blue section is entirely new to me, but incredibly important in music theory and in understanding music as a whole. The last card that I will share with you is this interval. So if you can see, it just goes one step up. So from middle C to D, and that is called a melodic second here. This bottom here, the bottom staff, you can see these are played together, and that is a harmonic second. That concludes this video. It's just sort of like a brief little adventure into this complete color-coded flashcards deck. The manufacturer is Alfred Music. By the way, I'm sure if you're interested, you can find them online somewhere, maybe even locally, if you're willing to look hard enough. But I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you were able to relax just a little bit, maybe learn something new. Maybe I sparked an intrigue in music for you. But regardless, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope that tomorrow treats you kindly. I will see you in the next